Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to PowerStack with Ian Ho. Thanks, everyone, for joining today. So, very straightforward. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about the prediction of 2026 by using the back pushing picture. All right. So, the back pushing picture is actually banned. Okay, many years ago, it's actually banned in China. All right, but of course, there are still ways people can get to access the pictures. So this back pushing picture, I will just very quickly share the screen. So if you are still lucky to watch this video, all right, you will be very lucky. If it is banned, then that is game over. All right, so I will quickly share the screen and show you what that is. So this is the back pushing picture. All right, in Chinese we call it 推背图. So you can see there are two people. All right, one person is pushing another person's back. So this back pushing picture was written about 1400 years ago, back in the Tang Dynasty, during Emperor Li Taizong. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's Emperor Li Taizong ruined, all right, during his time. So that time, the Tang Dynasty was very rich. Okay, very rich, was doing very well. All right, all the people, all the ordinary people, they all have jobs. They all have place to stay, shelter. They had food. All right. So that time, this Emperor Li Taizong, he asked these two people in the picture, Yuan Tiangang and Li Chunfeng. All right. So these two people, they are very famous in learning like feng shui, like prediction, looking at all the galaxies and the stars and interpret all the messages coming from the universe. So this Emperor Li Taizong, he asked Yuan Tiangang and Li Chunfeng to write down their prediction about the country, about the dynasty every year. Okay, so that was back in 1400 years ago. And then this Yuan Tengang and Li Chunfeng, they just sat down and then they started to predict, oh, in this year, this is going to happen. And then they wrote it down, plus a picture. And in those days, they try very hard to use languages that no one can understand, even until today. All right, if you know Chinese as well, by looking at all these poems, it's just doesn't make sense to you, right? They just try to hide all the secrets inside between lines, between words, and try not to let you know what will happen next year. All right, so this Yuan Tengang and Li Chunfeng, they predicted, oh, what will happen this year, and then the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and so on. So from 1,400 years ago, about that, they the more they calculated, all right, the more year they predicted, they found that, oh, this is very fun, and then they were just calculating, and until so late, finally, it was like I don't know what time, but it was just so late because they just found out they just found that this is so fascinating to calculate what will happen. And until it was so late that I think it was Yuan Tiangang to pushing Li Chun's phone back, all right? Or maybe Li Chun's phone pushes Yuan Tiangang's back and pushes his back and say, okay, brother, come on, it's time to go to bed. Let's go to bed. So that's why this is called the back pushing picture, all right? In Chinese, we call it 推背图. And why 推背图 is banned? Because It is so accurate. It is so accurate. Accurately predicted every year what will happen, even until today, 1400 years after they did the prediction, it is still so accurate. So if you are still watching this video, good luck, okay? Otherwise, if it is banned somehow, that is forever gone. Okay, so let's start. First, we will look at the Taipei 2 in 2025. So you can see that there is a picture in this Taipei 2, the back pushing picture. All right. So all the messages are hidden in the picture. And then they actually wrote a few lines. All right. Just to give you a little bit hint of the picture. But in those days was that they really use languages that not the everyday language, all right? So even though you understand Chinese, you can read Chinese, you understand every single word there, but it is not so likely for you to fully understand, to get the whole picture. Okay, so first we will look at the 2025 Taipei tool. What can you see here in the Taipei tool, the back pushing picture? We can see that there's a lady, all right, hugging an instrument. That's the Chinese instrument called pipa, all right, pipa. That kind of very music, pipa. And then we can see there's a rabbit, right? There's a rabbit standing next to the lady. And then what else can you see in this picture? There's also a bow, right? So what does that mean? So we first look at the first two lines. Okay, this is 美人自西来，朝中日渐安，长弓在地，危而不危。What does that mean? So the first one, 美人自西来. Okay, 美人自西来，美人 means a pretty lady, a beautiful woman. Okay, 美人. So that's like in the picture, there's a pretty lady there. 自西来, coming from the west. Okay, a beautiful lady coming from the west. What does that mean? Something beautiful in will be coming from the west in 2025. And now we are already in November 2025. It is already in the end of 2025. So what was there a beautiful lady came from the west? Of course no. Right. But the hidden message, okay, was something beautiful is coming from the west. And basically in the beginning of the year we were expecting there were AI technology, okay, will will be advanced into the next level. And so yes, it happened this year that AI, robot, they are getting so beautified. Technology is something beautiful, right? They can create such beautiful pictures. Even the picture now I'm using at the back, the background, it's all created by AI. All right. Nowadays, many videos, animations, anyone, just anyone, you can use AI create, make something so beautiful. All right. Even cars, electric cars, vehicles, and something is beautiful. You know how we use ChatGPT, Gemini. These are something beautiful technology to help us to ease our life, right? So something beautiful is coming from the West, and this is already happened. Okay, and then we look at the next slide. I mean, 朝中日兼安. What does that mean? 朝中, well, that is like the dynasty. Okay, so it's in terms of now, it's translated as in the government. Okay, 朝中日兼安. It's like they kind of settle down or kind of like more stable. So it's like when this beautiful technology is invented, all right, it will help the government to, to ease their work, to make life easier, right? Which is true. Okay, and then the next slide. 长工在地. 长工, 长工 is the bow, the bow. Okay, 长工 is the bow. So you can say this is very interesting. Haha, let me finish the next slide first. So the bow is on the floor, and then 危而不危. 危 means risky. Okay, dangerous. Mhm. 危而不危, it's dangerous, but not so dangerous. What does that mean? So we can see that the bow it's on the floor, so it's dangerous, right? But the bow doesn't have an arrow, so it seems like it's not so dangerous. So is that really dangerous or not so dangerous? Very interesting. So what we interpreted was that there's a bow on the floor. All right, it's a threat. It's a threat, right? It's just like the beautiful thing, the beautiful AI technology is coming from the West, right? So it helps the people, the government to do the job. But then you have a bow on the floor. That is that looks a bit dangerous because it is going to take over many people's job. It is going to threaten your wealth. It's going to threaten your income. It is dangerous. It is threatening people's life, basically. It is dangerous, but there's no arrow yet. It's only the bow. So it looks like, people got very frightened. Will AI take over my job? Will AI take over our world? It's a bit dangerous, right? But it it looks like not so dangerous yet. Okay, and this is only for 2025. Very interesting, right? Okay, then we will next look at the last few lines. Mhm. Okay, so basically it's the same meaning, all right? It's just more elaboration. Okay, so 西方女子琵琶仙，娇娇衣裳色更鲜。此时混迹居巢室. I'm not sure how to pronounce this word. Something 乱君臣百万般. Okay, okay. How to pronounce that word? I forgot. Anyway, so the elaboration is that 西方is the West. Okay, 女子 is the lady. Okay, 琵琶 is the musical instrument that she's holding. 琵琶仙 is like the deity, like the goddesses. All right. So this beautiful lady bringing the pipa instrument coming from the west. So this beautiful lady is it's like something beautiful is coming from the west and making some celestial sound, making some very beautiful music, right? So it's like, oh, something's coming from the west and they are spreading the news. Wow, something beautiful is coming, technology is coming, in artificial intelligence is coming. It is coming. Okay, and then 娇娇衣裳色更鲜。娇娇衣裳 is describing the dress she put on. It's very colorful. It's very bright. So it's just really beautiful and attractive. You know, it's attractive our eyes, pulling our eyes to look at it. Wow, what is going to happen? What AI is, how AI is going to be. We are all very anticipating, isn't it? So that's the meaning. And then the last few lines. 此时混迹居巢室啊。Mhm. And this is talking about when it happens, okay, there will also be, how should I say that? It will also threaten, okay, the entire city, the entire dynasty, or the entire country, or maybe the entire world, right? It will also threaten the world, especially in terms of finance, wealth, money. All right. And then the last line, something 乱君臣百万般. And when this something happened that is threatening every people's pocket, okay, not only the people, even the leaders, maybe the emperors, the king and queen, nowadays we call them the presidents, or the prime ministers, everyone literally uh, will be in a chaos. Okay, it will be very chaotic, right? So basically, is that um, okay? Before I show you the picture, I will also show you this one. And there's a rabbit in the picture, right? There's a rabbit in the picture, and the rabbit is just next to the bowl. I mean, next to the bowl. Yeah. So the rabbit is a bit dangerous. The rabbit might be killed, but again, there's no arrow. And then because this year is 乙巳年, 乙巳年, okay? And then the rabbit in Chinese is Mao. So the rabbit in this year, 乙巳年, the the wood snake year in 2025, Mao, okay, the rabbit actually is the symbol of wealth, the symbol of money. That means our wealth is threatened, right? Our wealth is threatened. Our money is threatened. Our pocket is threatened. Mhm. Okay, this is just another picture anyway. And when this happened, yeah, this is the last few lines. It says it's just more elaboration. It says that when this happened, the world will start to be in chaotic. All right, it will start to be very chaotic. Mhm. Maybe, and maybe it was started in the rabbit year and then just slowly explode until today and or something like that. So we can say that in this year alone, many big corporates are firing people because when AI has developed, when the technology is getting more mature, you just need one person. One person can do easily thousands people's job. You just need one person to learn how to use this technology, how to use the AI, and it can easily replace another 5,000 people's job. And so we can see so many big corporates when they fire people, they don't fire people in like 10 people or 100 people. They just fire tens of thousands of people. Right. When technology comes, you see, when the beautiful thing came from the West, the rabbit, your money in the pocket is threatened. And then everyone was just in a chaotic mood. It has already happened because we are in November 2025, in the end of the year. It is already happened. And of course, over here, there's this uh, 卦, okay? 庚向离桑日. I'm not explaining this qua today because there are many things I can explain. So this 推背图 is only one of the predictions we use. And of course, this is banned. And then also this year, what happened this year other than retention, unemployment, other than beautiful thing coming from the West, the technology and AI, and then our pockets got very threatened. Other than that, there's also this tariff war impacting the whole world, the economy of the whole world. All right. We saw this person in mid of 2025, right? He was announcing, okay, I'm going to raise, you know, uh, to raise tax up to 200%, this one 300%, this 150% to this country. I'm going to impose this tariff to your country at 250%. So everyone thought that he's mad, and everyone thought that no one is going to give in, but somehow he still managed to push in, a bit. So, before it was tax free to, especially to Canada and Mexico, and, you know, he's just trying to push all his way in. Yeah. So many things happen, right? And of course, this because US is the absolutely they they well, the Americans, they would like you to say that US is the strongest country in the world. I'm not talking about politics here, but of course, any decision made in the White House does impact the whole world, does impact almost every single person on the earth. And so, because of this tariff war, and people like you and me, many of us, we were forced to pay more to buy the same product. We were forced to pay more because they want to impose certain tariff on the goods and products. And when things are getting more expensive, is our salary also getting an adjustment, like a positive adjustment? Basically, is no. Other than that, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are losing their jobs just like that. IT industry was a very welcoming industry, but somehow in this year, many IT engineers just got fired because of AI. Well, there's just no one job can guarantee you work forever anymore. There's just no one company can guarantee you to work there until you retire anymore. The world is in a big shift, is in a it's it has to rewrite the order. It is time, it has to rewrite the games. It is the time. So you see, this is what happened. This is what Donald Trump's announced. Mhm. Many countries fight, and some countries try to negotiate. And of course, there are countries who just accept it as it is. Okay, so this was what happened in 2025. And even until today, this back pushing picture is deemed to be so accurate. And we always use it to prepare what we want to do in advance for next year. Because if you know something one step in advance, you can prepare yourself for it, you can plan for it. Just like you check the weather tomorrow to prepare yourself. What are you going to put on tomorrow? Do you need a raincoat? Do you need a winter jacket? Or do you need a windbreaker? Do you need an umbrella? Or do you just go out with your shorts and singlets with slippers? Because you want to prepare yourself one step in advance. So you are not frightened. When you are well prepared, you rest assured. And so this is the same. When we use this back pushing picture, we want to be well prepared. So when we know one step in advance, we can plan ahead, right? So you won't get sick. You don't have to run in the rain. You won't catch a cold, right? So this is the same concept. Why we want to know it one step in advance. And if you know it one step in advance, you could probably save yourself from making many silly mistakes. And then, of course, other than the 推背图, there are many other ways to do prediction. Today, I will only talk about the 推背图, all right? And so, other than the 推背图, I will also talk about 地母经. I will also talk about 春牛图. We can also predict 2026 using 八字, okay? 八字 horoscope. Every year has its own horoscope. Even you have your own horoscope. Your house has its own or horoscope. That's called feng shui. And then we can use just now I show you this one, 大卦, 悬空大卦. We can also use 大卦 to do prediction. Okay, that's the fifth step. Yeah, this one. Can I guess you can see my mouse arrow, right? This one. You can also use this 瓜 to do prediction. This 瓜 is different from the 悬空大瓜. 悬空大瓜, and then that has the six. 悬空大瓜 is another way of doing prediction. This is not the 悬空大瓜. Okay. Other than that, we can also use 奇门遁甲. So there are at least 7 ways to do prediction for next year. 奇门遁甲. Okay. Anyway, so we will now look at the back pushing picture 推背图 of next year 2026. So we first look at the picture. What can you see? Mhm. So we can see that there is a young kid, right? And then there's also an adult. So the young kid and the adult, they are both walking together. And we can see the young kid is having one of his arm on top. All right. So as though he's trying to protect himself. Okay. And then we can see that the adult also has raised one of his arm, trying to beat the kid, trying to push him, beat him. So what does this mean? And they are walking together, shoulder to shoulder. Mhm. So let's look at this, the first few lines. 君非君，臣非臣，时间为中克定。君 as in those days we say 君主,一国之君. Jun here means excuse me. Jun here means the like the king, the emperor. Okay. Today you can translate it as the president, the prime minister, or someone higher ranking than you. In a company, it can be your boss, it can be your manager. All right. In your department, it might be your supervisor. So the gene here is someone who is higher ranking than you. It's a senior. Okay. So as we can see in the picture, there's an adult and then there's a young kid. Okay. 君非君. So this is for 2026 prediction. The king doesn't look like a king. 君非君. Fei here means no, all right? So the king doesn't look like the king. The boss doesn't look like the boss. Haha. And then 臣非臣. Chen here means the people who work under them. The Chen means the subordinates. Chen means the employees. Okay, in a country, Chen means the ordinary people, the citizens. And then you can see here, Chen Fei Chen. Even the people, the citizens are not like citizens. The employees are not like employees. The subordinates, supposed to be lower ranking, they are not like the subordinates. So that we can see that there's a lot of chaos. The the power, the authority of the boss is so challenged by the people, and the people they thought they can take over the government, take over the manager, take over the company. So it's super chaotic. All right, as though there's a country, there are police, but there are no police. Can you imagine that? It's going to be super chaotic. Okay, when the upper level are not like the upper level and the lower level are not like the lower level, it is such a mess. And the next slide. 时间为中客定。始 here means 开始。In the beginning. The beginning is going to be very tough, very risky, um, very dangerous. The beginning is going to be very tough. 中客定。中 means at the end. Okay? So the beginning is going to be very tough, whereas at the end, they will kind of settle down. It will get stable. All right? So this is very interesting, isn't it, for 2026 prediction? If you like it, give it a give me a thumbs up. And then you just, leave a comment and say lucky 2026, good 2026, and give blessings to everyone, including yourself. That is also the reason why I started the 9.9 million blessings for 2026, because we know 2026 is going to be a very, very tough year. It is going to be very challenging. I have talked about the fire horse many, many times. Fire horse, the fire is coming from the universe, and the horse, as in the earth, is also a fire element. So, on top of that, in period 9, starting from 2024 all the way to 2043, this 20 years of period is also the period of fire. So next year in 2026, there will be so much fire. There will be so much fire. And that's the reason why I invite you to join me in this 2026 uh, in this 2026 9.9 millions of blessing. And today I won't be revealing too much secrets at this time. If you would like to know more, really, I can only share it privately in my 2026 convention, uh, 2026 Feng Shui convention. Alright, if you are interested, you are more than welcome to click the link below. And for now, I will invite you to join me for a short meditation. All right, so together we will send blessings to the world. All right, to share you the video that we together we can send blessings. When we send things to the world, that is also when we receive blessings. All right, so for just a moment. So may your 2026 be a beautiful story unfolding in light. If you are first, I mean, if this is your first time to this channel, click subscribe to get more feng shui tips and join 2026 feng shui conventions. I'll see you there. Good night.